Good afternoon, 6th grade. Time to go through the weekly ISTEP problem of the week. Now this is similar to a problem we've seen in the past, but there's almost guaranteed a problem like this on the ISTEP, where they show you an original expression and they're going to be testing how well you know order of operations. Then they show you a student's steps and you have to identify where the mistakes happen and what those mistakes were. Remember, before we go through this, we're not necessarily just asking you to tell me what it should be. You need to be able to identify what the mistakes were. So, like last time, the best way to start this is for you to do the actual problem, and I like doing it right next to the actual steps they give me. This lets me compare back and forth. If we're doing it correctly, we can identify where Eric in this scenario went wrong. So let's start. Always rewrite the problem. Always rewrite the problem and make sure that this student rewrote the problem. You never know, ISTEP might give you an equation where they wrote it down wrong. Always be wary of that. So we have 5 times 6 squared plus 2 times 8 times 5 plus 2 times 1/2. Okay, so far so good. Order of operations. PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So, the PUPA is a parenthesis. So we have some parentheses going on here. Now, what did Eric do? What changed from the expression to step 1? Well, you'll notice this is a 10. Some students see this and go, oh, no, he did something wrong. In multiplication, the order doesn't matter, right? Think about it. 2 times 3 is the exact same as 3 times 2. Same when you go to 3 numbers. 1 times 2 times 3 is the same as 3 times 1 times 2. In any order of multiplication, it'll give you the same outcome or the same product. So, Eric didn't do anything wrong to step 1. We're just going to jump a little bit faster. I'm going to take 2 times 8 times 5. I'm going to write mine this way. 5 times 6 squared plus, I'm going to do all the parenthesis multiplications. And the reason I can do that is there's only one actual operation going on inside the parentheses. And we do get 80 plus 2 times 1/2. Okay, so now we are 100% caught up with Eric. Low battery, get out of here. Okay, from here, PEMDAS, the E now takes place. Exponents. So we need to take care of the 6 squared. This is the only item that has an exponent. What is 6 squared? 36. So I write 5 times 36 plus 80 plus 2 times 1/2. Do we see a difference? Oh, yeah, we do. So what I'm going to do is put a little star next to step 3. I know a mistake happened. We got 36. What did Eric get? 12. So right there, I'm going to identify, hey, that's the mistake that occurred. I'm going to explain that in my answer here in a second. Now, I continue. PE, we already covered. MDAS. Now we have multiplication and division. So I look here, and there are 2 spots of multiplication that can occur. This is addition. I don't add yet. I have to multiply. So I take 5 times my 36. This is 180. I did not touch the 80 because it's a part of the addition. And 2 times 1/2 is just 1. Okay, we're starting to see some differences. Another big difference here. Notice, what did Eric do? He added before he multiplied. No. So step 4 also contains a mistake. 82 should not have happened. We should have multiplied the 2 and the 1, which is what we did. Now, clearly the rest of the problems are going to look wrong. But please identify, Eric did the correct things with the wrong numbers the rest of the way. He multiplied 5 and 12 and got 60. He multiplied 82 and 1/2 and got 41. So while this is the wrong answer, his arithmetic is correct the rest of the way. But he made those 2 mistakes. Well, might as well finish our answer. 180 plus 80 plus 1, you should get, oh, come on now. There it is, 261. How'd you do? Did you get it? Okay, now, we haven't answered anything. So be careful. Some students get so excited they go through this, they show work, they have this idea of, I know what I'm doing, but you haven't answered anything. So, a couple things to remember, because I have to scroll here, so it's going to get rid of this. Our mistakes happen in step 3 and step 4. Step 3, instead of 6 squared, what did he do? He took it times 2. So he said 6 times 2 instead of 6 times 6. And then in step 4, what did he do? He added before multiplying. So those are our 2 big mistakes we're going to identify. We're going to identify what the mistake was and where it happened for part 1. Here we go. Describe all errors Eric makes. So we discussed this. In step 3, Eric multiplied 6 times 2 instead, oh, forgot my N, but I put it in there, that's instead, don't you judge me, instead of 6 times 6 for the 6 squared. Now that's the first error. The second error, in step 4, Eric added 80 plus 2. Come on, come back to me. Bam. Oh, skills. So 80 plus 2 before multiplying 2 times 1/2. Okay, I've just identified both mistakes. Where did it occur and what was the mistake? Notice I didn't have to say in step 3 it should be 36, not 12. Great, you didn't tell me the mistake. You told me what it should be. That will cost you a point on the ISTEP. When it asks for the mistake, describe the mistake. If you have enough room and if you have enough time, feel free to state it should have said 36, not 12. There's not wrong, but understand that can't be your only part of the answer, okay? So we got our mistakes, when they occurred, what actually happened, and here's the nicest part. Part B is asking for the correct answer. Well, we already showed all our work, and on your paper, there should be work on right here. So, let's scroll and give our final answer. By the way, I've seen some students do this in the past. Don't do this. So you did all your work up here and you have like the 261 somewhere right around there. Don't do this. I saw some students go, bam. Yeah, no. How much time is it going to take? Write it. You actually have to put 261 in the answer blank, okay? Don't draw an arrow. Don't say, look above. None of that. Took me 2 seconds. Write your answer in, okay? Keep showing work. Keep grinding, doing them every week. Proud of you guys. Keep it up. You keep learning.